Hi everybody, this is Ellie. Thanks so much for joining me today for a flip through of the month of May in my Papertess Designs B6 planner. I have my planner in this custom cover by Elysian Paper. This is the Thin Moca leather and the Deep Salmon for the pocket. I have been in this planner consistently and I have just been loving it. We come to the tip-in I added for my index. I haven't really used it. There's been nothing that I've wanted to reference, so just this one topic so far. We'll see how that goes. I'm continuing to use this spread to track my cycle in the little calendar, Instagram and YouTube followers, if I earn any revenue from AdSense, so the ads that you guys see here on YouTube, and thank you again for your support in watching those. And I track any videos that I've posted. Nothing else at the beginning, except that I did add this yearly color palette, so just with the Tombow or the mild liner that I've chosen for each month. I love seeing how this spread comes together by the end of the year. And then we'll flip right to May. So we have the monthly calendar spread. As you can see, I have kept it very, very simple so far. No decoration, no notes, just any sort of events, holidays, special days. I have appointments in here. I have some of my brother's baseball games just in pencil. I don't go to them all, but this just helps me plan which ones I do want to go to, some birthdays. And this is just an overview, so this is really helpful. I also use this in tandem with my Google Calendar on my phone because I do keep all of my appointments digitally as well. I don't keep things like holidays or birthdays in there, but for appointments, I want the reminders coming through my phone. So I've set it up so I get a reminder 24 hours before and 1 hour before. I like that reassurance. And then we have the blank spread that comes after the monthly calendar, and this is what I use for my look ahead spread and my reflections. So my moving into May spread I filled out at the beginning of the month, and for my reflections I just filled out in my last video my June setup. So I tend to do this when I'm closing the month. My friend Lauren at Theory of Lauren, she fills in her prompts just throughout the month as they come up, and that's another really great idea. And then we get into the weekly overview and the dailies. So this setup is just working so well for me. I don't have to do anything. I have this pre-printed structure and then the blank pages. What I do is I'll usually draw these lines in. I just like having this in 2 columns and the little line to separate my signifiers from my writing. This is something I have done for years, so it just feels very, very comfortable to me. Played around with heading. I hated this when I did it, but I just reminded myself I would turn the page, I wouldn't see it again. And what do you know, looking back, it's fine. I don't mind it at all. So in the weeklies, I will put any appointments, events, any day-specific tasks. Then I have a running to-do list here. So I'll just write down, well, anything that comes up. If it's not something that I'm going to put right in the daily log of the day I'm currently in, then it goes on this list and I will either migrate it to a specific day, or if I just do it at some point, I'll just cross it off right here. So I have only been using my Pilot Acroball pen in here. Well, actually, I've occasionally used probably a fine liner as well, a Le Pen technical drawing pen, and it has been really refreshing to literally just be able to pick up a pen and to not worry about anything beyond that. I think I needed that after kind of my planner discontent to start the year. I needed something simple to ease my way back in, and this has just felt really, really good. So you'll see I have tasks, I add in some memories, I'll do hearts or dashes for notes. I have a little TV for whatever I'm watching, and I'm also trying to incorporate daily gratitude and a win from each day. And that's from a bullet journal video that I've mentioned before, but can link again for you. So once I'm done, I take my Tombow of the month. This month it's the 850. I will just swatch for my next day and on I go. I've also used my PoooliPrinter in here just to print out some little quotes. I have some photos. You'll see as we go through. One thing that I do miss sometimes about stickers is I like how they draw my eye and emphasize certain things that happened that day or maybe certain ways that I was feeling. So I mentioned in my last video, I will probably start incorporating them again, but I'm just going to do whatever feels good in the moment. Then I have a brain dump page here. Sometimes I just want to get out all the things I've been thinking of buying or just thoughts around planner things or whatever. So this is always a helpful spread for me. Sometimes I tend to fixate or hold on to things I'm thinking of buying, and it's just kind of circling in the back of my mind for a while. And for me, being able to write it down is a relief, because I think part of holding on to it so tightly in my mind is because I'm afraid I'm going to forget about it. And I mean, these are things that I don't need, but I want. So when I write it down, it just frees up some space in my mind. I know it's there, and usually I don't go back for it. It depends. Some things I've had on my list for months and then I will eventually purchase. And some things, once I write it down, it's kind of just been let go a little bit. So this was a fun spread. I met Maria downtown. Maria is at A Paper a Life on Instagram. And I just took some photos with my phone and printed them again with the PoooliPrinter. It only prints in black and white. It is not the best photo quality, so just be aware of that if you are looking into it. But I love it for the thin, transparent sticky paper and just for how convenient it is. So I just used my Tombow Fudenosuke in the hardtip. I did some kind of larger headings. I like that. That also helps it stand out without stickers. And I'm really happy with how this spread turned out. Here I finished the week and had a column left, so I just hand lettered in a quote. And I also swatched or wrote out one of my freshly inked pens. You can see here I made a mistake with the date, just crossed it out and kept going. My weekly reflection is another habit I've been getting into from the bullet journal video I mentioned. So I will just look back at that week. I will take note of the things that I wrote in my daily logs, so things that I did, things that I felt, and I will just reflect on it and try to see what it's telling me. The video suggests trying to be objective or curious about it and not judging yourself, so it has been actually a really nice process. I always write that I'm going to do it on Sundays, but I never do. I usually do it on Monday or Tuesday, and that works for me. So I reflected on the week, and things that I wanted to continue for this week were I wanted to continue to foster and nurture connections, so reach out to friends, be active on Instagram and YouTube. Oh, we went through a stretch of such gray weather here, so I wanted to try and embrace the gray and rainy days instead of letting them bring me down. So I just jotted some ideas, like having candles on, letting my twinkle lights be on, music, reading with a blanket, just things that felt cozy instead of gloomy. I wanted to continue my Sunday reflection routine and just enjoy activities outside the house. I'm a huge homebody and an introvert for the most part, so I can end up sticking close to home, and it's nice to make an intentional effort to do things outside the home because I enjoy it once I do. It's just sometimes the getting there that's the tougher part. This is a drawing from one of the students when I supplied. It's just adorable. I love kindergarten drawings so much. The next week we have the exact same setup. I will put in events, work, and things like that in blue. So if I'm going to write any notes on them, I'll also do it in blue pen. I just like how that stands out a little bit. I'm also realizing that to keep my pages feeling a little bit more clean for me, I'm trying to use more consistent lettering styles, because often I'll play around with different lettering and have fun with it, but I find that when it's a more consistent kind of font, then I just like how it looks better in my own planner. It's also a good way for me to practice certain styles. So here we go through the week. On this page, I just did the whole page instead of a column. We had my weekly reflection, so I reflect. And then last week, I think I had the things I wanted to continue. This one, I called it Going Forward. I had some blank pages here. I did not worry about these at all. Although I will say I do have some other kinder drawings I might put in here. I just haven't gotten to it yet, and if I never do, that's fine too. I knew I would have blank pages in this notebook, and I'm totally fine with that. I tried some different lettering styles here. This font is what I've used for my weekly reflection pages, and it's just a lot of fun to do. It's just basically my printing with the Tombow, and then I will outline it with a thin fine liner. I wanted to practice it and it was fun, but honestly, it wasn't my favorite. I do prefer this kind of simple style. That said, it's really fun to flip through and see the different spreads. So here I had some events. I had a little sticky note in here to remind myself to bring something when I saw Lauren and Maria, so I just left it in here. I love sticky notes and planners. I love sticky notes all the time. You can see the lettering here. I think it just looks busier to me. So fun to play with. We'll see if I do it again, just depends on the mood. This is the day that I saw Lauren and Maria. So again, just had some photographs. It rained. So this is the first washi tape I have used in this entire planner. And this is from Create with Pen. I used the Tombow Fudenosuke in the hard tip for some highlights. I like to write some little captions under these because these are light sensitive, so I know that over time and light exposure they will fade. So I add the captions just so that I have a reminder. Use a little sticker here for baseball. That's from Planner Monkey Co. Sunday, I just used a column here. Oh, I got a new bag from Fjallraven. I got the Kanken Mini Tote Pack in the frost green, and it is so cute. I decided to sketch it, and then I had the urge to pull out my watercolors for the first time in months. To be honest, I'm not sure I've used them at all in 2023, aside from this. So I love how this turned out. I also love this crinkly page. I'm sure you can hear it. And what's this? Oh, I was trying to look for a water bottle that would fit in these very, very slim side pockets. So I had some dimensions written down. My weekly reflection, things I wanted to incorporate moving forward. So at least 10 minutes in my planner each night. Yes, I'm still having some trouble developing a more consistent routine, but I'm working on it. Planning Instagram posts, trying to keep up with my content schedule, a more consistent cleaning routine. We're coming up on the end of May now. I do have these little stickers here for holidays. So I don't know if I mentioned, but these script ones are from Planner Monkey Co. It's the same font that she has on her tabs that I have here. So very, very pretty. I also have her typewriter font. So I just put the holidays on the weekly overview as well. And then if I remember to, I will write them in my daily logs. So appointments in red, events in blue. This week I went back to the same layout. Another print from my PoooliPrinter. Here's just another font that I use, which is fun. That does stand out. I doodled a little switch. Oh, if you follow me on Instagram, you might have seen that I'm playing a game called A Little to the Left. I think it's described as a puzzle game, and honestly, I am enjoying it so much. It's kind of just organizing things, basically. So some of the levels will be like picture frames on a wall and you need to straighten them, or it's basically like a junk drawer, or one of them was a cutlery drawer and you had to sort them all into their spaces, and I just find it very satisfying and relaxing. And sometimes frustrating. I'm not the best at video games or puzzle games, apparently, but it's just been really enjoyable. So I drew the little switch in there, and see how much just that little doodle reminded me of that memory. So I'm going to figure out how to either incorporate doodles, stickers, or even just lettering to emphasize certain things again. 28th, I have my weekly reflection, my moving forward. And that brings us to, oh, I have a blank spread here. I do actually want to write in some notes from a conversation I had with one of my doctors, so I will do that off camera. It's not because it's especially private, it's just because I haven't gotten to it yet, but I wanted to film this video. And the notes I have right now are on Post-its. So if for some reason I don't actually put them in the planner, I will just stick the Post-its in here, and that is also a totally fine option. And that brings us to this current week, and today is the 31st, so I feel pretty on top of the game. One thing I wanted to mention is that I have added this section in at the bottom. So what I've noticed is that my weekly reflection leads to some actions that I want to take moving forward, or some habits that I want to incorporate. And it changes from week to week, and it's based on my reflection of how I've been feeling, of what has, maybe what I've been struggling with, what I need more or less of. So I wanted to incorporate these in some way into my weekly overview. And the other thing I also wanted to incorporate was my Instagram posting, because I wanted to have ideas, but I never knew when I was going to post them. I do like to try and keep it as organic as possible. So I'm sharing things that I'm excited about and that are recent. So I came up with the idea of setting up a rolling weekly tracker. So I've just written down the Instagram pictures I think I'd like to post this week. And the plan is just to mark an X wherever it actually gets posted, and I can track it that way. I can also use this section as a daily tracker. So one of the things I wanted to do this week moving forward is a daily affirmation. So I just put affirmation here, and this one I can just check off ideally every day, but it will actually be however many days I do it. So basically I will just try to put whatever action steps I have here wherever it makes the most sense. So this one I wanted to curate some of the accounts that I'm following right now. I'm finding online to be heavy in some spaces, and when I need a break, I'm just trying to give myself permission to take it and figure out ways to do that makes sense for me. So that's not really something I need to put on a task list. That's just an ongoing awareness of how I'm navigating social media and the internet. And this one, I wanted to create some action steps. So I put that one on my task list. I hope that makes sense. I did something similar last year when I was using the Power Sheets, and that was based on a monthly goal system. This one, I'm just going week by week, and I like it because it is reflective of how I'm currently feeling in that moment and what I'm currently needing. So I've just started this week, and I think it's something I'm going to carry over into June, and we'll see how it goes. Monday was a slow day. I just printed off a little screenshot here. Little phone sticker. I chatted with a friend I haven't talked to in months. Again, some tasks, some memories. I gave myself a lot of little tasks today, which is helpful. This is a little sticky note that I move from page to page with me in the hopes it helps me remember. I actually forgot to do it on both Monday and Tuesday, so hopefully tonight I get that in. And that's it. Tomorrow I will start June on this page. I was debating whether or not I wanted to continue using this Tombow until I actually flipped into the June section, but I'm just going to switch to my color for June tomorrow, and that way I'll be able to see just at a glance where May ended and June began. And that has been the month of May. Flipping to the back, I just showed this to you guys, I think in my setup, and nothing has changed really, so I keep track of when did I last. I actually think I need to update that. Something that has been kept updated is my baseball tracker, so that's last night's game. And my social media tracker as well, I have been keeping up with. I keep calling this my social media tracker. This is just for YouTube videos, but it is helpful for me to see what I would like to do ahead and to look back at what I have done. Now let me just do a quick and quiet flip for you so you can see the month at once. I'm really happy to be feeling as settled in a planner as I am in this one. Having the space to be as simple or as decorative and elaborate as I want is really, really inviting, and it lets me meet myself where I am in this moment. I'm looking forward to June and whatever that brings, both in my life and in my planner. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.